With the Jets sitting at 0-2 and the Sam Darnold-led Carolina Panthers at 3-0 after their Thursday night win against the Texans, it's got Jet fans thinking, should we have kept Sam Darnold? Jets! Before we get started, I want to thank BetQL for sponsoring this video, the only app you'll need to beat your sportsbook. Find their information along with a 25% off discount code in the description of this video. And also check out the special BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL and other sportsbook sign-up offers and bonuses. BetQL is the #1 app to compare betting odds and is a must-get if you want to beat your sportsbook this football season. Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, I want to talk about something that is fresh in Jet fans' minds. The Sam Darnold 3-0 Carolina Panthers, and should the Jets have held on to Sam Darnold? I think it's going to be something that's going to be highly talked about this week, especially with Zach Wilson coming off a 4-interception game against the Patriots, and Carolina now at 3-0, Sam going for 304 yards and rushing for 2 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football. I think it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to be talking about, and, you know, Jet fans might be feeling a little bit of a way, one way or the other. For me, it's a little interesting. Yesterday was a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions. We had, earlier in the day, we had a golf outing at the course I work at, and they had a Zach Wilson signed football, so I threw $20 at it to try and get the raffle prize, and your boy came home a winner. Very pleased with my Zach Wilson football. And then Thursday night, we get the Carolina Panthers versus the Houston Texans, and Sam Darnold, obviously our former starting quarterback, 2-0 going into the game. I, for one, wore my Sam Darnold jersey during the game, and I know a lot of Jet fans are probably hot and cold on this topic. Some are really rooting for Sam, sort of the same way you wrote or you cheered for Chad Pennington when he went to the Dolphins after the Jets kind of dumped him for Brett Favre. So it's an interesting dilemma for Jet fans, and we've been here before, and how should we feel about this? And did we make the right decision? Because now you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, well, man, Adam Gase was really the issue. We all kind of knew that. You understood that once that hire was made, it was kind of the kiss of death for Sam Darnold, at least his time in New York. And then with the Jets playing the way they played last year, they wound up going and earning the #2 overall pick, which put them in prime position to take a quarterback like Zach Wilson. So the money question is, should the Jets have rolled with Sam Darnold instead of using the #2 overall pick on Zach Wilson? Because you look at what the 49ers had to give up to get up to #3, and you think the Jets could have at least gotten that from the 49ers, given the Salah connection, if not more, because it's one pick higher. And then you think, okay, well, Sam Darnold plus all these additional picks, plus a new coaching staff that's more competent, could we have turned it around the same way that Sam is starting to turn it around now? And it's a really interesting conundrum, because for me, that's absolutely one way you need to be looking at it. But then there's another way, because in our not-so-distant past, we stuck with a quarterback because we thought he could be the quarterback of the future and opted to go with taking a safety at the top of the draft and passing on Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and then the following year realizing we needed the quarterback, having to give up 3 second-round picks to go up and get the quarterback. So ultimately, I guess what you could say is the best case scenario would have been trading down, Sam hitting, and having all the picks. That's just such a big gamble to have to make, to have to potentially go up and get a guy the following year. And if you have the quarterback just kind of sitting in your lap like we had with Zach Wilson at #2, there is a lot of value in that. So it's interesting. It's a really, really weird situation for the New York Jets. Sam Darnold, through the first 3 games of the season, 68% completion percentage, 888 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, 1 interception, plus 3 rushing touchdowns. Zach Wilson, through 2 games, 56% completion percentage, 468 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So immediately right off the top, not looking so great. But it's hard to compare a guy that's going into his 4th year, or 3 games through his 4th year, and then you have Zach Wilson, who's only 2 games into his rookie career. Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve as a rookie. I think it was interesting. I came across a tweet yesterday from Kevin Clark. Adam Gase, when he leaves an organization, Ryan Tannehill and Sam Darnold both become good quarterbacks. The year after he leaves the Denver Broncos, the Broncos wind up winning a Super Bowl. The year after he leaves LSU in 2002, they wind up winning a national championship in 2003. And not only that, when he was in Michigan at his high school Marshall, they won a state title the first season after he graduated in 1996. So it's weird. It's like Adam Gase is the good luck Chuck of football. You want him on your team so that way you can have something good afterwards. And I'm hoping that's kind of the direction that winds up happening for the New York Jets. And man, it's just a weird, frustrating situation if you're a Jet fan. But I, for one, think that you can be really happy with having Zach Wilson and making the move, because I do think that was the right decision for the Jets. And you could be happy for Sam Darnold and rooting for him to have success as well. I don't think those are mutually exclusive to have those types of feelings. And I, for one, I'm probably going to be a Sam Darnold fan the rest of my life. The guy has been a stand-up act the entire time. He never put down the Jets. He was asked after the game. They're like, "Oh, are you, what about New York?" And he's like, "Look, New York's in my past. I don't think we need to go there." And I think that was a really good way to handle it. And I get Jet fans are frustrated because you see Sam down there with Robbie Anderson. Matt Rule could have been our head coach. And then there's a bunch of other Jets on the team like Luvu and freaking Burris and who's the other? Elfline. There's a whole bunch of Jets down in Carolina. So for me, in my mind, I'm thinking of this as like the NFC version of the Jets that could have been. And I can root for that. I can cheer for that. They're in the opposite conference. It makes it a little bit easier. Obviously, week 1, I'm rooting for our Jets to win. But it was just interesting. It's an interesting dilemma for Jets fans, and I think a lot of fans are probably going through this right now. And I'm curious to see how you guys feel. Do you feel that the Jets, that you should be against Sam? Are you for Sam? How do you feel about the whole Darnold thing? Do you think the Jets made the right decision on going with Zach Wilson? I think we made the right decision. I'm still rooting for Sam Darnold at the same time. Maybe that's playing both sides of the fence, but that's how I feel. Guys, let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling on this topic. And as always, go Jets.